I just finished a workshop here in Scottsdale, Arizona. And one of the most important aspects of this particular session was developing and using good diagnostic questions. And diagnostic questions are those things that we're going to ask our existing client, our prospective client, that are going to cause them to think long and hard about their current situation or their desired future situation, what they're trying to accomplish in the next couple of years, and see it differently than they saw it before we came along. So we'd want to ask some questions that would reveal an opportunity, not just to us, but actually reveal something to them that they hadn't thought about. In fact, a good diagnostic question, something like, Mr. Johnson, we've helped some other companies to accomplish this and achieve that. Is that something that would interest you? The key to these diagnostic questions is to get them to kind of sit back and say, that's a really good question. Because then we know that we're adding value as a consultant and an advisor, not just a salesperson. And so there are a variety of different ways to phrase this, but the way I like to do it is to think about what are the 3 or 4 problems that we know that we can solve for our clients. And maybe what are 3 or 4 specific outcomes and results that we help our clients to achieve. And then ask questions around that. Suppose you were able to shorten such and such by this and so amount of time. Would that be useful to you? And then maybe a follow-on question, something like, well, how much time do you think that could save you every week? Or how would that impact your business? Or how would that impact your customer retention or some other measure that matters a lot to them? And so when we're addressing or thinking about the problems we can solve and results we can deliver, what we want to do is really just kind of get a sense of, are they experiencing some of these challenges? Or are they interested in achieving some of these outcomes? Zillion different ways to phrase it, but you can't overestimate the importance of these diagnostic questions in helping the customer conclude that may be worth talking a little bit further about. But here's an interesting point I want to make about this, is that for, 20-something years, I taught this concept of diagnostic questioning primarily to be utilized when meeting with a customer face-to-face or telephone or today via video conference. The problem is that it's really difficult these days to get a customer to agree to meet for a video conference or much less face-to-face. So what I want to encourage you to do is to think about some of the diagnostic questions that you might ask, some of the examples that you might give about problems solved and results delivered, and bake that into digital assets, which is the written word, infographics, audio and video, some sort of a digital selling asset that you could send to somebody and ask those very exact same questions. I particularly like short custom video, where you're talking to your customer just as if you were talking to them across the table, posing questions, sharing ways that we've helped other organizations, that kind of thing. Take what you would say or what you would ask in the first 3 minutes of a live conversation and build that into a 3-minute video. Give them a little taste of what it might be like to meet with you. Because every big sale is just a series of little sales. And the little sale that's one of the hardest to make right now is to even get somebody to slow down long enough to have this conversation. So why not start the conversation asynchronously using digital assets? The point with this is that you're going to cause them to think differently, to see things in a different way, to challenge their thinking. Ultimately, I'd like them to think when they read, watch, or listen to this, they'd think, that's an interesting question. And I want them to conclude that it'd be worth their time to spend a little time talking with me. So the idea here is that we're learning how to sell that initial discovery meeting. And digital assets come in 4 different forms, of course. We want to get really smart at how to create digital assets, whether our marketing department does this or an individual salesperson puts together his own. You can leverage AI these days and put together a little talk track or some sort of a little PDF document that you could send to somebody with some good diagnostic questions on it. Or as I said, just turn on your camera and shoot a short video. Send it across LinkedIn via direct message. Send a link to it in an email. Some way or another, point them back to, I created a short video asking a couple of specific questions, Mr. Johnson, that I think you might be the only person in your organization that could answer. Let them know what they're going to get out of it. After you watch this video, you're going to know more about this. You're going to better understand so-and-so. You'll have all the information you need to take the following step. And you'll have to utilize that as a means of persuading them that it's worth a longer conversation. Our customers just don't have enough time to meet with everybody who wants a meeting. We're going to have to sell them on why we're the one that they want to spend or invest their valuable time with.